most players train shooting wrong, and the scary part is, they don't even realize it. They show up, take random shots from random angles, and think just hitting the net means they're getting better. But if your shooting doesn't feel dangerous, if defenders aren't panicking when you load up your strike, if keepers aren't diving early to guess where you're going, it's not enough. This video is different. We're not just going to spam long shots or show flashy volleys. This is a full guide, from technique to repetition to how to make your shot unguardable, even when you're tired, even under pressure. And here's the best part, every drill in this video is for solo players. You don't need a partner, just a ball, some space, and focus. If you stick with this to the end, you won't just understand how to shoot, you'll know exactly how to build a shot that wins games. Let's get into it. Section 1, the mechanics of a clean strike. If you can't strike the ball cleanly, everything else falls apart. Power, placement, curl, dip. It all starts with technique, and most players never slow down enough to fix this, so let's break it down. The foundation of a clean strike starts with your plant foot. It should land about 6 to 8 inches beside the ball. Too far, and you'll lose control. Too close, and you'll cramp your swing. Your toes should point toward where you want the ball to go. This naturally aligns your hips and shoulders. Now the strike itself, hit with the laces for power, specifically the top inside part of your foot. It's not a toe poke, and it's not the flat laces. Angle your foot slightly inward. When you connect, lock your ankle tight. Imagine your foot is a hammer. A loose ankle absorbs power. A locked ankle transfers it. And here's something most players ignore, your body position. Lean too far back, the ball flies over. Lean too far forward and you'll drive it into the ground. Keep your chest over the ball and drive through it, not just into it. As for your swing, it's not just about the leg. Think about swinging your entire hip through the shot. Your knee should rise high before contact, then snap down like a whip. After you strike the ball, your body should naturally follow through. Don't freeze. Land on your shooting foot. That forward momentum builds consistency and force. If you're struggling with power or accuracy, slow everything down. Do 20 to 30 shadow strikes with no ball. Just focus on planting, swinging, and following through with perfect form. Then introduce the ball at 50% effort. Gradually build up. Your body learns through precision, not chaos. Get this right now, and everything else in this guide will multiply your results. Section 2, mastering ball contact, power, curve, and finesse. Now that your basic mechanics are sharp, let's get into how to manipulate the ball. Power, curve, and finesse are just variations of the same skill. Ball contact. Let's start with power. You generate it with 3 things: your approach angle, your leg speed, and your follow through. For a pure power shot, approach the ball at a slight angle, lock your ankle like we said earlier, and strike the dead center of the ball with the upper inside part of your laces. But don't just smack it. Think about driving through the ball. You want to carry your momentum through the strike and finish with your chest over the ball and your hips square to the target. Now curve. This is where finesse meets control. To curl the ball, you're still using the laces, but slightly more toward the inside of your foot. Think of brushing across the ball from the outside in. If you're right-footed, that means curling it left to right. The more you lean your upper body away from the ball during the strike, the more curve you'll generate. But don't overdo it. Balance is key. You want to wrap your foot around the ball, not just swipe at it. If you're practicing curve shots, start closer to goal. Hit 20 to 30 from just outside the box and focus only on the motion. Don't worry if it goes in. The goal is to teach your body the feel of that contact. Once you have it, back up and add power. Now finesse. This is where most people mess up. Finesse doesn't mean soft, it means precise. You're often striking the bottom corner of the ball with the inside of your foot, gently lifting it or passing it into a tight window. Your plant foot is a bit closer than usual and your follow through is shorter and more controlled. Use this in one-on-ones inside the box or when you're shaping a shot around a defender. It's about control over power. Drill this. Set up 3 cones across the goal line, left, center, right. From outside the box, strike 5 shots to each section, focusing on different types of contact. 1 round power, 1 round curve, 1 round finesse. Get used to adjusting your strike for the situation. Ball contact is the art behind the shot. Learn to paint with it. Section 3, target and shot placement. It's one thing to shoot hard or curl the ball, but placement is what separates average players from elite finishers. Shooting becomes deadly when you can consistently place the ball exactly where you want it, even under pressure. Start with this mindset. Don't aim for the goal, aim for a corner. In training, get used to avoiding the middle third of the net. Your goal is to become automatic at hitting the bottom corners and the top shelf. These areas are nearly impossible for keepers to reach if the shot is even decently struck. Here's how to train that. Pick 2 small targets, cones, water bottles, or shoes, and place them inside the left and right side netting, maybe a foot inside each post. These are your finish zones. Now, from outside the box, take 50 shots total, 25 to each side. Go in sets of 5, alternating sides, but don't just stand in the same spot. Move, hit from slight angles, hit from central positions. Try it with the ball rolling toward you and try it off the dribble. The goal is to simulate game scenarios, not just stationary shots. Here's the real trick though. Don't just look at the ball when you strike. Get in the habit of glancing at your target a second before contact. It might feel awkward at first, but this habit trains your peripheral awareness, your ability to know where the goal is without needing to stare it down. Also, mix in one-touch finishes. Pass the ball to yourself off a wall, or roll it forward and strike it without taking a touch to settle. This replicates match situations where you don't have time to set up. And one more thing, don't ignore your weak foot. Even just 10 to 15 minutes a session of focused weak foot shooting can be the difference between a blocked shot and a goal in a real match. Treat your weak foot like a mini project inside your overall training. It's a long game, but it pays off massively. This is the section where most players plateau. They can shoot hard, they can shoot clean, but they can't hit a specific spot consistently. Once you master placement, the goal shrinks for the keeper and grows for you. Section 4, movement before the shot. Most players only train the shot itself, but the truth is, what you do before the shot often decides whether it goes in or not. A clean strike means nothing if your body positioning is off, or if you're not setting yourself up with smart movement. Let's start with the basics. Your first touch matters more than your shot. If your touch sets the ball too far in front of you or too far under you, it throws off your balance, power, and accuracy. So start training your first touch into space, ideally just ahead and slightly to the side of your shooting foot. That way, you can step into the shot naturally with power and control. Set up a drill like this. Roll the ball to yourself diagonally. Take one touch to guide it forward and slightly wide of your body, then shoot. Do this from multiple angles, coming in from the side, diagonally, or even straight at goal. The goal is to teach your body how to set up the shot fluidly without needing to reset or overthink. Next, movement patterns. One of the easiest ways to get better scoring chances is learning to change pace and direction before receiving the ball. In your solo sessions, simulate this by starting 5 to 10 yards away from the ball. Jog toward it, then sprint the final few steps before taking your touch and shooting. This teaches you to arrive with speed, like in a real game, and forces you to adjust your body quickly under pressure. You can also simulate a cut inside. Start out wide, dribble diagonally toward the top of the box, then use the inside of your foot to cut in and shoot across goal. This mirrors the classic winger move, and it's a go-to finish even for central players when defenders give space. Last key tip, be conscious of your plant foot. It controls your balance. Practice planting your foot firmly and next to the ball, pointed in the direction you want to shoot. Most missed shots aren't because of the strike itself, but because the plant foot is off, causing poor balance and a misdirected shot. This is what high-level players understand. Finishing isn't just about the shot, it's about how you move before the shot, how you prepare your body, how you arrive. Fix this and you'll find yourself scoring easier, cleaner goals without needing to change your shot power or mechanics. Section 5, shooting on the move and with fatigue. If you only practice shooting when you're fresh, standing still, and everything is perfect, you're not preparing for football, you're preparing for a highlight reel. In a real match, you're rarely calm, rarely balanced, and almost never fully rested. So the players who score consistently, they train under pressure, they train while tired. Let's break this down into 2 things, shooting on the move and shooting with fatigue. First, shooting on the move. This means hitting the ball while your body is in motion, not after you've stopped to set everything up. It's how goals are actually scored in games, after a run, a dribble, or a quick change of direction. To simulate this, set up a cone 10 to 15 yards away from the ball. Start there, jog or sprint toward the ball, take a controlled touch, and shoot. You'll notice your mechanics change. You're out of breath, your timing is different, and your balance is challenged. That's exactly what you want. Even better, use curved runs. Start wide, then arc your run around a cone and approach the ball diagonally, just like you would if you were peeling off a defender. This challenges your angles, your foot placement, and your ability to shoot without needing perfect conditions. Keep the ball central, then move it slightly left or right, just like it happens in a real match. Practice getting shots off quickly after different movements. Now, shooting with fatigue. This doesn't mean just running until you're tired and then shooting randomly. It means intentionally pushing yourself so that your body has to work under stress. One of the best ways? Combine simple conditioning with finishing. Here's a drill. Set up 2 cones 10 yards apart, sprint back and forth 5 to 6 times, then immediately approach the ball for a shot. Your legs will be burning, your breathing will be heavy, and now your technique gets tested. Can you still stay over the ball? Can you still plant your foot with control? That's the difference maker. You can even do short, intense dribble patterns before shooting, like tight cone weaves or quick changes of direction. Anything that raises your heart rate and simulates the mental chaos of a real match. The goal here isn't to be perfect, it's to build composure when your body wants to quit. Every top-level finisher knows how to strike when their legs are heavy and their brain is tired. That's why they still score in the 90th minute. If you only train clean finishes, you'll only score clean goals, and that's not how football works. Master shooting on the move, master shooting when you're tired, that's how you become a real finisher. Section 6. Pressure, timers, and decision making. This is where most solo players fall short. You train your shooting, your dribbling, your touch, but you forget the one thing that makes football real: decision making under pressure. In a game, you have milliseconds to decide: shoot or pass, near post or far post, take a touch or go first time. These split-second decisions separate the ones who look good in training from the ones who deliver in matches. But here's the catch: you can train that alone. Let's talk about timers. One of the simplest but most powerful tools you can use is a countdown timer. Pick any drill. Maybe it's dribbling around a set of cones or controlling a pass off a wall before shooting. Now add a constraint. I have 5 seconds to score. Suddenly your brain kicks in. You're no longer thinking about technique, you're reacting. That's pressure. You've got to make a decision now, and that's what game-like training actually feels like. Start with generous time, maybe 7 or 8 seconds. Then work your way down to 4 or even 3 seconds. If you consistently train with that mental clock ticking, your instincts become faster. In games, you'll notice the difference. The ball comes to you, and your body just knows what to do. Next, decision making. You don't need teammates yelling or defenders rushing to train this. You can simulate decision making solo by creating multiple outcomes for the same setup. Let's say you've got 2 mini goals, or even just 2 cones acting as targets. Before each rep, randomly decide: if I take 2 touches, I shoot left. If I control and turn quickly, I shoot right. This forces you to make a quick read on your touch and choose the right outcome in the moment. Even better, record your sessions and review your choices. Did you go for the easy option every time? Were you predictable? That awareness builds game IQ faster than just mindlessly repeating drills. One more thing, add surprise variables. Throw down a third cone mid-session that you have to avoid. Change your starting point. Use your weaker foot only for the next 5 reps. All of this messes with your rhythm in the best way possible. It makes training uncomfortable, but that discomfort is exactly what makes you grow. So if you want to score more in games, not just in training, you need to put yourself under pressure. Use timers, create decisions, train your brain, not just your feet. Section 7. Weak foot mastery. Let's be honest, most players ignore their weak foot. They'll train their strong foot for hours, then maybe take a few weak foot shots and call it a day. But if you actually want to become elite, you need to treat your weak foot like your future depends on it, because in matches, it often does. A defender blocks your right side, you need to shoot left. The ball rebounds awkwardly, you don't have time to switch feet. That moment decides the goal, and if you've trained for it, it feels effortless. So here's how to actually train your weak foot the right way. First, stop babying it. Don't go half speed and tiptoe through the drills. Your brain doesn't learn like that. Go full tempo, even if it feels ugly at first. That's how coordination improves. It's not about perfect shots. It's about high reps with real intention. Start with short distance finishing. Set up your ball about 5 to 10 yards from goal and hit 25 to 30 shots with only your weak foot. You'll feel awkward, you'll slice it wide, but that's part of the process. Focus on clean contact and body shape, not power. Once you're comfortable, move into first touch finishing. Pass the ball off a wall or rebounder and hit it with your weak foot on the first or second touch. This builds timing and touch under pressure. And here's where most players level up: daily repetition. Just 10 minutes a day, weak foot only. That's enough. Do simple passing against a wall, juggle with your weak foot, dribble cones. Every single rep adds up. In a month, you'll feel a clear difference. In 3 months, it'll feel like second nature. But here's the trick most people miss: mirror your drills. If you have a dribbling or shooting pattern for your strong foot, do that exact same sequence with your weak foot. Same angles, same movements. Your brain starts to create symmetry, and that symmetry is what makes two-footed players lethal, because they don't have a weak side anymore. The final mindset shift: don't say weak foot, say non-dominant. It's a reminder that it's not permanently weak, it's just undertrained, and that means it can be built. So if you want to be the player who's unpredictable, who scores off both feet, who defenders can't read, master your non-dominant foot, and start today. Section 8. Curved finishing and distance control. If power was everything, every shot would be a rocket. But the best players don't always smash the ball, they place it, they bend it, they choose precision over force. And when you watch players like Mahrez, Son, or Di Maria, you see how deadly curved finishing can be from outside the box. So let's break down how to build this skill with solo training, step by step. First, the technique. You're aiming to wrap your foot around the ball, striking it with the inside laces hybrid area, just above the big toe. Your plant foot should point slightly to the side of your target, not directly at it. And your upper body? Lean slightly forward, not back. Leaning too far back makes the ball fly. You want that satisfying curve? Focus on contact and follow through. Your foot should finish across your body, not straight forward, and your hips should rotate through the shot. That's what adds shape. Now, the drill. Set up a cone or a small target on either side of the goal. You'll start from outside the box, around 18 to 22 yards out. Take one touch to set yourself, then strike with curve, aiming to wrap the ball around an imaginary defender and into the far side of the net. This simulates the exact angle you'll get in games when you cut in or find yourself outside the box. Do this with both feet, especially your non-dominant one. You don't need to go crazy with power. Your goal is to master the spin and trajectory first. Power comes naturally once the motion is clean. Next level, controlled volleys with curve. Toss the ball slightly in front of you or use a bounce pass off a wall. Let it drop once, then strike with curve before it hits the ground again. This teaches you how to adapt curve to different ball heights and speeds, just like in match scenarios. Here's another killer drill, curved shooting through gates. Place 2 cones a few feet apart just inside the goalposts. Your job is to curve the ball through the gate using your instep. Start close, then move the ball further away as you get consistent. This tightens your accuracy under pressure. And don't forget, curved finishing isn't just about goals, it's also how you pass, switch play, or set up teammates. Building this control expands your options. You become a creative threat from distance, not just a finisher. But this doesn't improve overnight. You need volume. 100 curved shots per week, minimum. That might sound like a lot, but if you do 20 a day for 5 days, you're there. And that's what separates average from dangerous. So if you want to be a player who can score from anywhere, who bends the ball around defenders like it's nothing, master curved finishing, control the ball, and you control the game. Section 9. Pressure finishing and game simulation. Alright, now we're getting into one of the most important pieces of this shooting blueprint, the ability to finish under pressure. It's one thing to strike a clean ball when you're relaxed and alone, but matches are messy, you're tired, you've got defenders on your back, you get one chance, and if you miss, that's it. So the question is, how do you train for those moments? How do you recreate match-like pressure by yourself? It starts with fatigue-based shooting. You need to condition your body to finish when you're tired. Try this. Set up 5 cones in a line and do quick lateral shuffles or short sprints through them. Then immediately turn and sprint toward goal and take your shot. This small sprint gets your heart rate up, your legs feel heavier, then you shoot. You're now training the most realistic scenario you can, shooting when your body doesn't feel perfect. Drill idea: sprint to a cone and back, receive a pass from the wall or set the ball yourself, take 1 or 2 touches max, then shoot. The rule: no standing still shots. Every rep should involve movement. You're reprogramming your brain to associate shooting with action, pressure, and limited time. Another way to build pressure solo? Use a timer, set up 5 balls around the top of the box. Give yourself 30 seconds to shoot all 5. You'll start to rush, and that's good. That pressure creates mistakes, but the more you do it, the better you'll become at staying calm and clinical under stress. Next, we simulate chaos finishes. Place 2 cones behind you and 2 on the edge of the box. Start at one of the back cones with your back to goal. Sprint forward, turn at the cone, and receive the ball. Then shoot. Why? Because most chances in football don't come from perfect setups. They come from messy, fast moments where you have to adjust quickly. This teaches your body to adapt your finish on the fly. Want to go even deeper? Add distractions, wear headphones blasting crowd noise or a timer beeping. It sounds weird, but the goal is to challenge your focus. Can you zone in and stay composed with chaos around you? That's a skill. Finally, end every solo session with a last chance shot. Tell yourself, this is it. Final shot of the game, 1 goal to win. If you miss, you restart. That mental pressure replicates what you'll feel on the field, And when that moment comes for real, you won't flinch. Because that's what separates real players. They don't just train to shoot, they train to perform, under pressure, when it counts. When the stadium's loud, the defender's right there and your legs are burning, you still bury it. This is what turns technique into trust. Trust that when your moment comes, you've already been there 100 times before. Section 10, shooting on the move and first time finishing. Most goals don't come from standing still. They come while you're moving, making a run, adjusting your body, reacting to a loose ball. And if you're only training with the ball set perfectly in front of you every time, you're not preparing for reality. This section is all about movement-based finishing, shooting while you're in motion and learning to take advantage of those quick chances that show up for just a second, then disappear. Let's start with first-time finishing. It's a game changer. If you can hit the ball cleanly without taking a touch, you beat defenders, you beat keepers, and you look like you belong at the highest level. So how do you train it solo? One simple method, use a wall or rebounder. Strike the ball into the wall at an angle so that it comes back into your path. Don't take a touch, just hit it. You can go left foot, right foot, low, high. Mix it up. At first, you'll scuff a lot of them, but over time, your balance and timing improve. That muscle memory starts to form. You start connecting cleanly, even when the ball isn't perfect. A second method is the jog and shoot drill. Mark out a 5 to 10 yard running lane. Dribble or jog at light pace, then pass the ball slightly forward into space. While still moving, run onto it and strike first time. This trains your body to shoot with rhythm rather than planting and resetting for every rep. Make it tougher by using your weaker foot. When you're on the move, you often don't have time to shift it to your strong side, so force your weaker foot to adapt. Even 5 minutes a session can make a massive difference over weeks. Section 11, curved finishes and ball mastery streaks. There's a moment every attacker dreams about. You cut inside onto your strong foot, the defender's behind you, and you curl it into the far corner. It's not power, it's precision. And when it's done right, it looks effortless. This section is all about controlled, technical finishing, the kind that separates decent players from serious ones. Let's start with the classic curled shot. To practice this solo, place a cone or target in the far post corner of your goal or wall. Then set the ball just outside the top of the box and focus purely on shape. Approach the ball at a slight angle, plant your foot beside it, and strike with the inside of your foot. Not your toe, not your laces, the inside. Think of your foot as a paintbrush. You're not smashing the ball, you're guiding it around. Keep your ankle locked and your follow through high. That's what gives it the arc and spin. And keep your head over the ball. Most people lean back and it sails. You want that clean floating bend that dips just inside the post. Don't be afraid to repeat the same movement dozens of times. Repetition builds muscle memory. You want to feel the curve, not think about it. Once you've got that down, start incorporating touches before the shot. Roll the ball across your body, cut inside with your left and curl with your right. Or go right to left and strike with your left foot. These patterns replicate in-game moments where you carve out space and bend it around the keeper. Next up is what I call the ball mastery strike. This isn't about bending it, this is about technique under fatigue. Start by doing 20 seconds of tight footwork, toe taps, inside, rollovers. Then immediately set the ball up and shoot. You'll feel rushed, your legs will be tense. That's the point. It trains your ability to stay composed when your body's tired. You can also use this drill to work on low-driven shots. Instead of going for curve, focus on striking through the middle of the ball with your laces, hip over the ball, body compact. Keep it low and fast. In games, these are deadly. Now here's something advanced, the fadeaway curler. Take a few steps away from the ball as you approach, like you're drifting away from goal, then curl it back across your body. This is the type of shot you'll see from pros like Mahrez or Vinicius Jr. It's awkward, it's deceptive, and it's unstoppable when mastered. Last point, don't just aim for the corners, aim for precision within the corners. Pick a tiny part of the post, make your goal smaller, train your brain to be that sharp, because when the pressure's on, your body will naturally default to what it's rehearsed. This is the type of shooting that makes you look polished, not just powerful, but elegant. And when combined with everything else, your movement, your first time finishing, you become the full package in front of goal. Section 12, the final blueprint and mental reps. Alright, if you've made it this far, you're not just casually watching, you're serious about this. You want to transform your shooting, not just for highlight clips, but to become a real threat in matches. So let's bring everything together and build your blueprint, one you can follow every single week, alone, no excuses. Start by designing your solo shooting sessions with a purpose. Instead of just blasting balls for 20 minutes, break it into specific phases. Warm up with tight touches and technical strikes. Focus on feeling the ball, connecting cleanly. You're not rushing, you're preparing your body and brain. Move into speed-based finishes, run-ups, quick setups, minimal touches. Here's where you simulate pressure, then shift to the curve work, your finesse, placement, and control. Focus on quality over power. End with high-intensity ball mastery into finishes, fatigue-based shooting. This builds composure and simulates late-game moments. Keep each drill to around 10 to 15 reps max. If your quality drops, reset. It's about intensity, not just volume. Now here's something most players completely overlook: mental shooting reps. This is what the pros do constantly. Close your eyes. Visualize a ball rolling to your feet at the top of the box. You open up your body and curl it far post. The sound of the net, your teammates shouting. Do it again, different angle. This time, a left-footed finish across the keeper. Replay the exact mechanics in your head. Why? Because the brain doesn't know the difference between a real rep and a visual one if the imagery is detailed enough. So you're literally training your shooting habits off the pitch, in your room, on the bus, before you fall asleep. Stack that with consistent solo work, and now you're becoming dangerous. If you want a simple weekly schedule, here's one you can repeat. Monday, first time finishing plus one-touch strikes. Wednesday, shooting off the dribble plus curved shots. Friday or Saturday, fatigue finishing plus match scenario drills. Don't overcomplicate it. Just show up with intention, stay consistent, and look, there's no single drill that will make you elite. It's the combination of deliberate reps, tight technique, and a ruthless mindset. Most players hit the pitch and go through the motions. You're going out there with a system. This blueprint is something you can follow for months. Tweak it, evolve it, but don't skip it, because the only thing standing between you and becoming a clinical finisher is how seriously you take this when nobody's watching. If you want a follow-up guide on exactly how to train like a pro or how to structure full sessions alone, that's coming soon. But for now, apply this blueprint and watch your shooting completely level up.